We are live. And if you are watching this recording, hey, yeah, let's get into the third episode of The Other Side with Monica. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Monica for those who are new, and if you are a returning savvy, welcome back. I welcome you all to The Other Side, a safe space we have created right here on the internet for individuals like yourself and me who are navigating life after a high control religion. Here we share stories, we share insights, we talk about experiences on this very challenging but rewarding journey. And today I want to talk about how religion can be something that really affects your self esteem as an individual. And today I'm flying solo. We're going to have this conversation, just you and I. And I decided to have this on vertical live so that we can really interact. We can really have, a real time moment. So I hope you all enjoy today's video. So, as mentioned, I want to talk about how religion really affects our self esteem and how this is done very intentionally. As always, I've made some notes. So if you see me looking down, I'm just reading my notes. And before we even get into the points that I have, I really want to start off by sharing just my experience. I'm someone who grew up in a high control religion, as mentioned. Like many of you who are watching this video, or people who will come to realize, is that I was born a Jehovah's Witness. I was born into the Jehovah's Witness religion, and my experience within this religion, I'll be very honest, it seemed just normal, just like, yeah, normal religious experience. I grew up in it. This is literally all that I know. And I left in 2017 after just realizing this religion does not resonate with me, after doing a lot of internal introspection and seeing that, okay, something is off here and this religion doesn't resonate with me. And over the last few years, I've really been sitting down and deconstructing my religious experience. And I realized that a lot of us who grew up in this religion suffer from self-esteem issues, and self-esteem issues can really present themselves in so many different ways. It's not just how you see your appearance, but it can also manifest in how you interact with people, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your family, the way people treat you, or the way you allow people to treat you. um the way you set boundaries, the way you hold up your boundaries. Like self esteem issues can present themselves in your life in so many different ways. So, how does one, really unpack that once you decide to leave a religion, or if you decide to leave one specific religion and you're like, okay, before I go into another one, how do I really sit down and unpack my self-esteem issues? Do I even have self-esteem issues? That's what we're going to talk about today. But before I get into the topics or the points that I've noted down, I'm going to quickly go through the comment section and then we'll go through my points. So we have Squid Game Amira. Hi Amira, I see you back. You are now seeing my podcast content. So this is less to do with makeup and beauty, but more to do with my experience of growing up in a high control religion and how I help people navigate their lives after leaving a high control religion and building themselves up. That's what The Other Side with Monica is all about. So thank you for joining us, Amira. We also have Faded in San Diego 2025. Hi, San Diego, or Faded in San Diego. I hope you're doing good. We have Z, who just wrote 6. Okay. Then we have the one and only Nicole. You're my favorite transgender YouTuber. Okay, Nicole. Really. And we have Tehofatso Kekana. I do struggle with self-esteem, confidence a lot. Well, Tehofatso, today we're going to talk about that as well. So you're in the right space. We're going to unpack this right now. And then we have Z once again as big, and Big Boss Dog is back. Can you help me? Okay, leave your question, Big. What? Big Boss Dog is back, and we will continue. Guys, if you follow my channel, you'll probably remember that when I said I'm starting this podcast content, I wanted to leave the comment section just for members. And some of you guys are seeing now why I was like just for members. But anyways, the comment section is open for everyone. Let's get into the points that I have. So firstly, our self-esteem issues started with the suppression of identity. So for people who don't know much about people who grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses or people who grew up in a high control religion, is that your identity as an individual is heavily suppressed. So the suppression comes in many forms. You are firstly told to conform in terms of how you dress. You are not supposed to dress in a way that stands out, in a way that maybe correlates to your personality. You really need to be very modest, very minimal, and that's what is encouraged. So your identity, how you present yourself physically, is affected. And then this also is affected in terms of your personality. You have to really be someone who is muted, maybe quiet, don't be so extroverted. Like, you are really suppressed in terms of your identity and how you present yourself when you are part of a high control religion. You're all basically how do I put this? You're all basically put together to like look the same within your congregation or your community, and your identity is just constantly being suppressed. And what that does is it tells you that as you are as an individual, you are not good enough. Like, however you are, that's not cool, that's not cute. Like, you need to constantly change and work on yourself. Remember, when you're part of high control religions, not just high control religions, just religion actually, we are told so many times that we are not good enough. Like, we are not good enough for God's mercy, we're not good enough for God's love. And that really instills in us that I'm not good enough as an individual. So the suppression of our identity is definitely one thing that plays a huge role in how religion really tries to lower your self-esteem as an individual. And this is done intentionally, because when your self-esteem is low, you lack confidence, you don't believe in yourself, you are very easy to manipulate. You are very easy, it's very easy for you to take in information and believe it and not question a religion, because you are told you are not smart enough, you are not good enough. So yes, Faded in San Diego says we're good for nothing slaves. Exactly. That's the type of rhetoric, that's the type of messaging that is being pushed. You are slaves and you're not good enough. And that really affects your self-esteem. Another thing is conditional love and approval. You don't know conditional love. Okay, I can't speak for everyone, but if you're part of a high control religion, you know what definitely it means to be in a relationship with someone where the love is conditional. I only love you, I only accept you if you are part of my religion. I only see you as someone who's a good person if you're part of my religion. And what that once again does is that it really instills in you that you are only good enough for love if you mold yourself to be a certain type of person. As you are as an individual, you are not good enough for love. You cannot find approval. And again, when you are raised in an environment where the love is very conditional, it also pushes you to constantly seek validation. Like, people need to validate you because you're waiting for them to put those conditions for love and to tell you that yes, you fit into these conditions. And basically you are looking for the validation for people to tell you that yeah, you are now good enough for love. And again, that really affects your self-esteem. That's why you see so many women who are in relationships in these types of religions. They are most of the time with the most narcissistic men, because you don't even know how to identify someone who's narcissistic because your confidence is just so low. And even the men as well, sometimes they are with these narcissistic women, they are with these toxic women, because religion, one thing about it, especially high control religions, they love not like it's a narcissistic person's playground. There's so many people who are narcissists who are part of religion. So these types of people will constantly push this rhetoric of you're just a slave, you're not good enough. And again, it instills this feeling within you that people can only love you if you present yourself in a certain way or in a certain light. And then we go to the third point that talks about shame and guilt culture. There's so much shame, so much guilt that is instilled in us when we are part of high control religions. We are constantly told that we should be ashamed of who we are as people, especially if the person that you are is not presenting themselves as a Christian or a good Christian. And you constantly feel like, oh, I might be doing something wrong. Am I even good enough? Am I even worthy of God? And then you just feel the shame. You just feel this guilt constantly, constantly. And this is all intentional, guys. I cannot emphasize this enough, how intentional it is that if you have constant guilt, constant shame, you feel like you need validation, you are easily manipulated. And that's what they want. They want to easily manipulate you, to easily feed you this information, and easily use you as an individual. So building your self-confidence, building your self-esteem is very important. And I will get into the point of why this is important. I will really get into it. But I still want to just emphasize how it's done by religion, so you can maybe see for yourself, am I someone who has low self-esteem? Do I believe this rhetoric that I'm not good enough, that I need to be a good slave, that my love, that people can only love me conditionally? Like if I'm carrying myself a certain way, or if I'm doing a certain thing, or if I'm at a certain point in my life, then I'll be worthy of love. That's how you can see, are you an individual who probably has low self-esteem or not? Then lastly, I want to talk about the loss of autonomy before we get into talking about why self-esteem is important, why being confident is important. When you are part of a high control religion, you don't have autonomy over your life. Remember, your identity is suppressed. You are constantly seeking validation from people. So you want people to tell you, am I doing good? Am I not doing good? Am I worthy of love, or am I unlovable? You do not have autonomy over yourself. You don't have autonomy over your thoughts. You don't have autonomy over your faith or your beliefs. They tell you everything what to believe. So not having autonomy over yourself also instills this thing of, I cannot trust myself. And if you cannot trust yourself, you cannot have confidence in yourself. You cannot have self-trust in you, because you cannot trust yourself. You do not have autonomy. You can't even tell yourself what clothes to wear or not to, or what not to wear. You cannot even tell yourself what content can I watch, or what content can I ignore. You are waiting constantly on people to tell you who to befriend, what activities to take part in, what to watch on TV, what to consume on social media, what not to do, who not to hang out with. All of these things takes your anatomy, all of these things takes your autonomy away from you as an individual. And again, you're very much susceptible to abuse at this point. You're very much susceptible to people controlling you and telling you what to do. So why is it so important that once you leave a high control religion, for you to rebuild your confidence and to rebuild your self-esteem? Before we get into that, I'm going to go through the comment section, and then we will talk about the importance of rebuilding. Someone was spamming the comment section. I saw you. I saw you. Faded in San Diego says, I think one problem is in the organization. We were trained to be people pleasers. That can get people taken advantage of in the real world. Very much important. I was going to talk about this. I was a people pleaser myself. And this is something I really dealt with a lot while still being part of the religion. But when I left, I felt like it even got worse, my people pleasing. And it was something I really had to sit down and really work on. And it really manifests in a lot of us who grew up in this organization. You will find yourself willing to do anything for people, which is not okay. We have Z, who literally spammed the comment section. San Diego, Fade in San Diego said, we are good for nothing slaves. That's what they said, for real. Tune up your mind, thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Tune up your mind. Scarlett Jane, hey girl. And then we have from Faded in San Diego saying self-care is also considered selfish in those organizations. Yep, it is. So let's talk about the importance of rebuilding our confidence and our self. The internet, guys, sorry about that. But as mentioned, why is it so important for us to rebuild our self-confidence, to rebuild our self-esteem? Is that, as San Diego mentioned, is that you are a people pleaser. If you grew up in a high control religion, you are a people pleaser, and people will advantage of you. If there's one thing you take away from today's session, guys, is that do not let people take advantage of you. People will take as much as you're willing to give, even more. So do not let people abuse you, misuse you, or take advantage of you. That is so important. Being a people's pleaser does nothing for you because you will never please people. When you say no, they will have a problem. When you say yes, they will still have a problem. When you say maybe, they will still have a problem. People will always have a problem. People will always have something to say. Stop people pleasing. You will never please another human being who's not even pleased with themselves. We can start right there. So it's very important for you to build self-confidence and self-trust in yourself. And how do you do that? You put yourself in situations where you have to self-trust, where you have to build that confidence. And when I say these situations, I'm not talking about crazy, dangerous situations. Last week, we were talking about the importance of having a hobby and how a hobby can help you build community. It can help you foster new connections. It can help you meet new people. And putting yourself out there is basically doing a hobby because you will have to go and take part in the hobby, go on the walk, start running, joining a certain club, joining a certain community. That is you putting yourself out there. So the self-trust comes in where you believe in yourself that, yes, I can do this. I can be part of this community and have a good time. Or I can take part in this activity and learn something. Or I can start journaling and being open with myself and honest with myself and really commit to coming through for myself, really being disciplined and doing this every day. When you build that self-confidence in yourself, you lift up your self-esteem. And it's difficult for people to come in and tell you, you are not actually a good person. You are actually not good enough. You are whatever. Like when people come and they try to push their own narrative over you, it doesn't work because you have that self-confidence and that self-belief in yourself. Thirdly, why it's important for you to build that self-confidence and that self-trust within yourself is that you need to have boundaries. When we were part of a high control religion, we didn't have boundaries. I mean, these people could come into your family home and tell you how to be a parent, how to be a son, how to be a daughter, how to, carry your relationship. They could come here, these elders, and tell you you are someone who's done wrong by sleeping with so and so, tell us what you did, if they held a judiciary committee for you. Like these people were so intrusive. So when you start building the self-trust, thank you for the hearts, when you start building the self-trust and confidence within yourself, you are able to set these boundaries confidently. You can confidently tell someone, you know what, I'm not going to discuss this with you right now, or this is none of your business, or you know what, no, I don't want to do that. It's very important to build boundaries. Boundaries are not things to keep people out or you being difficult because you've got boundaries. Boundaries are saying, this is my space, this is my world, and in my world and in my space, this is how we behave. And if you do this or that, I will not be happy. And if I'm not happy, I will revoke your access to me. That's what boundaries are. Boundaries are basically rules that you have for how people should conduct themselves within your presence. And that's very important because when you have those boundaries, you once again, remember, you do what? You build that self-trust, that self-confidence. You protect yourself. You look out for yourself. You get rid of the opportunists. You get rid of the parasites. You get rid of the people who are just there because of what they can take away from you. It's very much important to have boundaries, guys. And for me, something that has made this very easy is actually my journey with African spirituality. And not just African spirituality, but once you start finding a system or a belief system or faith system or just any system that works for you when it comes to your faith, it really helps you to strengthen your confidence and self-belief. And African spirituality has done that for me because African spirituality doesn't say God is out there in the sky and he is seeing everything happening here on earth and he will solve our problems all at one point, whatever. No. African spirituality says, wake up, wake up. It's time to take charge of your own life. God is within you. Your ancestors are within you. So when you see yourself, you are literally seeing a lineage. You are literally a bloodline that goes thousands and thousands of years back. You are seeing thousands and thousands of people manifested in your face, in your appearance. So African spirituality says you are strong enough. All of those people who have survived for you to be here today, They are within you, so you can handle this. It's all on you. It really tells you and reiterates that you are responsible for your own life. And when you are responsible for your own life, you're the individual who makes up the rules about what's good, what's bad in your life. You're the one who, takes charge of your moral compass and decides, okay, this is ethically wrong, this is ethically right for myself. Like, it's so important for you to have that self-trust and self-confidence in yourself, because you are the only person who knows yourself better than anyone else in this world. And if you're going to wait for another person to give you validation or permission, they are going to take advantage of you. They're really going to take advantage of you. You need to build your self-esteem up. You really need to rebuild your self-esteem. And your self-esteem, rebuilding it, is not just you saying affirmations like, I am loved, I am accepted. No, that is important. But you really need to put yourself out there and literally test yourself, try meeting new people and see, can I really trust my intuition right now? Because it's telling me these people are not good for me. Will I believe my intuition, or will I go against myself and force this relationship to be what I think it needs to be? You need to really trust that you can handle what life throws at you, because life will throw fists, it'll throw punches. It really will. Whether you stay in the religion or whether you decide to leave, life will still throw its punches. So you need to be strong enough. You need to be confident enough to know that you can handle anything that can come your way, even if you're doing it alone, even if they don't believe in you, even if they don't think you are going anywhere. It doesn't matter about them. It's all about you building your self-confidence, your self-trust. And once you build your self-confidence and your self-trust, your self-esteem goes up. Your self-esteem really goes up. And people stop playing on your head. They really stop. Because now, she knows actually that she is that girl, or he is that boy. They start playing on your head, and your life literally elevates. It really elevates. People start to respect you. People start to even fear you. They're like, oh no, I don't want to mess with that one, because they know their business. They have their boundaries set. So it's important to build self-confidence and self-trust in yourself and really rebuild your self-esteem. If you look at your life right now and you're not happy with where you are, one, I can pin it down all to your self-esteem and your perception on yourself. That will probably tell us why you are in the situation that you are in right now. What does your self-confidence look like, or how do you perceive yourself? It is a direct reflection of your life right now. So if you're not happy with your life, start with your self-esteem. Start with your self-concept. Improve it. Remember that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of a good life. You are worthy of acceptance. And that, all of it starts with you. You're the person who's going to give yourself a good life. You're the person who's going to give yourself acceptance. You're not going to wait for someone else to tell you, oh, you are worthy of love. But no. You're going to give it to yourself right now, right where you are. Even if you're not happy and like, I'm not happy where I am in my life, right there and there, you are still worthy of a good life. You're still worthy of love. So give it to yourself. They literally held you down in that high control religion. They literally tried to take you out, and you survived and you managed to get away. And now you're really going to sit there and not believe in yourself? Do you know how difficult it is to get out of a high control religion? Do you know how hard it is? And you did that. You literally got to a point where you started having honest and open conversations about your religion and your faith. And you told yourself, you know what, I don't really believe in this. I don't resonate with this. There's probably family members who don't talk to you anymore. There's friends you've lost, a whole community. You've lost them, and that's fine. But it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to rebuild. It's time for you to love yourself again. It's time for you to build that self-trust, to build that confidence, and be the amazing person that you are. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. We are going to start today. That was such a lovely conversation with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It really sat heavy on my heart. Not heavy, but it was something I was really thinking about this past week. And I was like, for this week's The Other Side or TOS episode, I want to talk to the community about building self-confidence and the importance of being confident in yourself, because they will not play with you. You cannot be easily manipulated anymore if you believe in yourself. And Freedom in San Diego said that self-care is also considered selfish in those organizations, because self-care to them is seen as selfish because you're not taking your energy, your money, putting it into them, but rather putting it into yourself, pouring into yourself. They don't want that, because when you pour into yourself and you love yourself, remember what again? They cannot control you. Fabrication guru tip and tricks, Black Beauty. Thank you. Fade in San Diego says, elders do that all the time. Unannounced visits at people's homes and places of employment. All the time. I experienced that as well. They came here unannounced twice, trying to convince me to come back. And I was like, oh my gosh, who invited you here? Who invited you here? Because it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Those are people who overstep your boundaries. So that's something you really need to strengthen and rebuild, and be conscious of noticing when people are, overstepping their boundaries in your life. If you don't like unannounced visitors, you don't like unannounced visitors, whether they're an elder, they are a family member. I do not like unannounced visitors. Do not come by my house unannounced, please. Fade in San Diego says, one video they have on their website is a joke. I would never force my viewpoints on you. All I ask is the same respect be given to me. That is a flat out joke. That is a joke, because they don't respect other people's viewpoints. And that's why whenever I create these videos, I love reiterating this point over and over again, is that I am not a fan of religion. I'll never encourage someone to be part of a religion, but I do still respect people's faiths, people's religions, and understand that some people do want to be part of a religion. They want that sense of community. They need people to tell them what to believe and what not to believe. Let's be honest, and that's fine. But we also need to understand there's 8 billion people on this planet. We will not all have the same viewpoint on life. We will not all have the same paradigm. We will not all have the same perspective. And it's okay. It's really okay, because there's actually beauty in our differences. There's beauty in how we get to experience this reality, this life differently. And there's still beauty in all of our faiths and all of our belief systems, be it that they are similar or that they are different, they are all still valid. So respecting people's faiths, belief systems is very important. And we know what respect actually and truly looks like, because if someone says I respect you but they actually don't, you can tell. You can really, really tell. As bad as it is, as bad as it sounds, I got to a point where I just didn't care about what happened. I wasn't going to live other people's life. I'm so proud of you, Faded in San Diego. Like, it's very difficult to leave. And again, because you have such low self-esteem, such a low concept of yourself, that's where you find yourself constantly concerned with people and how they perceive you and their viewpoint over your life. Like, it's so common, so it's not even bad. It's not even bad that you said, I'm not going to care about these people and what they think of me anymore. That was actually something amazing. It showed your strength. It showed your self-belief. It actually showed your confidence in yourself and how it was actually stacking up and building, that you are starting to believe in yourself and knowing that, yeah, I'm good enough as I am. And I'm not going to care about other people, and I'm not going to live my life according to other people and their rules and their belief systems. Like, I'm no longer doing that. Yeah, guys. Oh, this was such a lovely conversation. I really got to chat with you guys. And yeah, I might be leaving you guys then at this point, because there's no comments coming in, no questions. So I'm guessing you guys heard what I had to say. And I hope you guys will implement these things. It takes time to change your life, even after you leave a high control religion, because it's such a huge step to leave. And I think sometimes we might have the expectation that, okay, I've left now, my life is going to change completely within 24 hours. And that's not the case. You are going to have to first shed so many things, like literally let go of so many beliefs and just so many things you held on to. And sometimes this takes a few days, it can take weeks, it can take months, it can take years for you to undo the things that were done to you. So don't rush yourself, give yourself permission to make mistakes, to learn new things, because that's actually what mistakes are. When you make mistakes, that's actually when you start to learn. That's when you start to change. That's when you start to see yourself, truly as you are as a human being, someone who's not perfect. And that's okay, because no one actually is perfect. And what actually is perfection? Let's start there. So, yeah. I'm just proud of each and every one of you who's managed to leave, who's managed to prioritize themselves and build that confidence and trust in yourself. Because once you do that, I promise you, your life starts to change. It really, really starts to change. That's where the growth truly lies. So I hope you all enjoy this episode of The Other Side with Monica, as talking about how to rebuild your self-confidence after leaving a high control religion, or why high control religions specifically attack and go after your self-esteem. And I hope to see you all basically in next week's episode. And yeah, I'm going to have to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in. I really enjoyed once again talking to you all. Love you all, and goodbye. Good night. Oh, one more comment. Awesome stream. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day as well. Faded in San Diego. Bye, guys.